Digital video is the fastest growing segment in all of advertising over the last 5 years. This year, it'll be about $4 billion, and it's projected over the next 4 years to reach almost $10 billion. I also have up here television advertising, which is the largest segment of revenue in advertising. 17% growth projected over the next 4 years. So what is fueling the growth from TV advertising to digital video advertising? It's pretty understandable. As audiences move more toward digital devices, consumption on tablets and smartphones and desktop, advertisers are able to extend their reach and frequency to this audience. We have amazing targeting available on internet video and amazing measurement. And ultimately, it is quite complementary to TV advertising. Not cannibalistic, but quite complementary. So Mixpo is a software company based in Seattle, across the street from Amazon and Microsoft. We're 100 people, and amazingly, you can do a lot with 100 people in software. Our core competency is delivering video across any device type. So desktop, tablet, smartphone, in a way that is optimized for the user. Mixpo is a leader in this field. You may ask, why do you need software to deliver video? You need to take the core asset, the television commercial, typically 15 or 30-second television commercial, and you need to augment it with interactivity and cool, rich media features, direct response, the ability to go deeper, click through to a site. You need to serve the video. Video is not like digital display, which is typically just an image or a flash file. Video actually is streaming bits, and there's management behind that to deliver to these different devices at the appropriate bit rate and an optimized experience. And then finally, to measure, to be able to learn about the consumption, preferences, and correlate that with information that you know about the audience. Male, female, age, geography. So Mixpo, again, a software company. We're not a network, but we work with networks. We work with exchanges, portals, a whole host of publishers. Basically, in this ecosystem, we're a top player. And we've been around for about 5 years. I'm sure you're all familiar with this century-old saying, half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. The trouble is that I don't know which half. Well, this is a big data conference. I'm a big data guy. What if we could use big data to actually determine the half that was wasted and then optimize campaigns to avoid that wasted half? One of the problems, if any of you have ever bought media on the internet, is fraud. And fraud comes in a lot of different formats. Over the last decade, with display inventory, which is a $10+ billion industry, fraud has given rise to a dozen or so what are called verification companies. And these companies basically work together with advertisers and display companies to verify that the quality of the inventory is good. But what's going on now in the last couple of years, as we've had this growth in digital video, where the CPMs, the price that you pay per impression, is an order of magnitude greater than display, is all the best and brightest of hackers have put their attention towards fraud in digital video. Another thing to be aware of is the demand for video impressions is much greater than the supply. So anytime new inventory becomes available, it quickly gets snatched up. We can't use the same technologies that were used in digital display to verify the quality of the inventory. Again, the best and brightest of the fraudsters are working hard to create bots that generate artificial traffic, as well as other tricks like stacking ads on top of each other, or maybe an autoplay video ad below the fold that's muted. So it's not just a binary, it's either complete fraud driven by a robot. There's also a lot of shades of gray. And the estimates are in the order of, and from our experience, having looked at hundreds of campaigns now, and I'll talk a little bit about the methodology, somewhere between 20 and 40%, honestly, of all video impressions on the internet are fraudulent or very low quality. So how do we do this? We have been around for about 4 or 5 years. We've collected almost 1 trillion event logs. Every time we have a video view, we collect data on 30 different metrics. So these are pauses, scrubber events. You're all familiar with the you can skip this video. Well, do people do that? Click-throughs, interaction rate, percent of the video that was actually watched, social media clicks. Again, this is not just a flat video like TV. This is a lean-forward interactive experience, and we can measure all these things. Now, we've collected all these things, again, over the years, but it's only been in the last year due to advancements in technology, and I won't go too much into that, but Amazon Redshift, a column-oriented database, hosted, it's like based on par Excel, but it's like Vertica, if you're familiar with that, we've used to apply to this problem. So what do we do? Essentially, it's not that complicated. We're establishing norms, empirical, a signature fingerprint of what normal behavior should be, and then we're identifying and categorizing the outliers. So in its simplest manifestation, we have normal in blue, and then suspect, and that may be 2 or 3 sigma variations from the mean. So again, the statistics is multivariate statistics. It's not super complicated, but we're crunching a lot of data. Let's look at a real example. So this campaign ran this month. It was about $1 million purchase of digital video by a leading financial company. We didn't optimize during the campaign. We analyzed it after the fact. And what we find is about 1/4 is either suspect or highly suspect inventory. We're talking about the quality of the placement. Let's look a little more detail. If we start from the bottom up, 4% is outright fraudulent. We have some anomalous, and that goes into some complexity about what that means. 19% low engagement. So this is like you do 1 million impressions and you have 1 click-through. What does that mean? What's really going on? Again, either way below the fold. It's just super low quality. And again, there's a lot of different varieties. And again, there's a lot of people working hard to make this undetectable. So is it actionable? How do you act on this data? Ultimately, it comes down to the domains. In this particular case, the financial company was given a whitelist of approved domains. And they basically look through this whitelist and they say, yeah, that's all good. Well, we only need 1 million impressions to be able to come up with this list. And this is the list of of domains to avoid. So it's very simple for this company to say to the media buyer, hey, you know what? Remove these domains. And we can do this after day 3. We don't have to wait till the end. And we can save that $250,000 of wasted impressions. Just an example of the kind of detail we drill down on for each domain. Again, we're looking at user agents. We're looking to see if that user agent profile is normal. We're looking at the size of the ad unit that the ad actually runs in. Is that what was intended? And again, another 28 different parameters. So just real simple, 2 takeaways. Do extend your TV ad campaign to the internet. Repurpose that and reuse that great asset or number of assets that you spent all the production costs building. It's super complementary, and you can learn a lot about how people react to your TV campaigns without doing focus groups, using big data, high sample sizes at very low cost. And don't be frightened about internet fraud, but be aware of it, be smart, validate and optimize your media buy. It's really quite simple. And at Mixpo, we can help you with that. In fact, we have a booth here, and we're offering to do a free million impression campaign with you. This is a lot simpler than you might imagine. All we need is an asset, a 30-second commercial. Very quickly, we can turn this into an internet ad tag. And we can gather this data and tell you now, if you're already doing it, whether you're making a good, smart media buy. And if you want to do it in the future, we can tell you the same thing. So that's it. We got a booth over here. Please stop by. Thanks.